Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Far Cry 5. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, we're taking a look at Hours of Darkness. Let's get to it. So the Hours of Darkness DLC came out yesterday, June 5th, and is available now for $11.99 US, or it's included if you had gotten the season pass. You can just go to the store and look up the Far Cry 5 game page, or you can go to your Far Cry 5 tab, go down to overview, and then go all the way down to PlayStation Store, and then go over to add-ons. And even if you have the season pass, it'll say the price there, but you just go to that page and you can download it from there. So Hours of Darkness is a survival type story mission, which is in the Vietnam War time frame. You have a little introduction where you kind of see what is going on, and then you get dropped in. Now this is all about stealth and your survival instinct. So each perk that you get will increase and make your job a little bit easier going through Hours of Darkness. So you're going to spend a lot of time crouched. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to be stealthy and walking around. Now the first perk allows you to move faster when in crouch, which is great. Second one reduces the noise that you make, so it's harder for the enemies to detect you. The next one tags enemies that are going to tag you. And then the last one, you can use binoculars to tag enemies through walls, which is great. Plus the third one also makes predators less likely to attack you, and then you get auto tags on the first perk at 10 meters and then 20 meters on the predator perk, which is the fourth one. Now if you get detected, all those perks disappear, so that's why you'll want to stay hidden as long as possible. Now whenever you do kind of objective type items in the mission, whether it's anti-aircraft commanders, freeing prisoners, freeing camps, or clearing camps, you get an airstrike token. You get up to 5 tokens, and you can use them except in AA areas. So if you've not cleared out the AA, then you won't be able to use them. And commanders, they start in one area. If you alert them to your presence, they will run to their bunker and hide out in there. So while they're fleeing, you have to take them out. Now along the path going towards the bunker, there will be enemies, so you will have to be careful of that. But going to the bunker gives you some of the best weapons in the game. So even if you're able to take out the commander before he's able to flee or flee very far, you'll still want to follow that path down all the way to the bunker in order to get some of those nice weapons. Or not. It just depends on how you want to play. Now, if you do die at all during the mission, it will put you back at a checkpoint, usually the last part right before an objective. So now you say, well, I don't really want to do any of the optional things. I just want to extract. So you can just go straight to it, right? No, that's not the case. You have to wind around the map, snake around, up and down and back and forth until you get to more or less a straight path, and that's way past Crocodile Island. Now another thing about the airstrike tokens, once you clear out the AA gun, you'll get use of the airstrike in that region And there's incentive to go to these AA guns. In addition to the airstrike, you also have bombs and dynamite and grenades that you can pick up in those areas, because you may not have picked up any in any other area. So you can go there and pick up some explosives, some throwables. Usually you will find some around the map, but around the AA guns, that's a huge thing. Now, when you're going into a POW camp, or into a camp that has one of your squad mates, you will want to be careful, because you can use an airstrike in the area. I mean, unless you're restricted. But the problem is that the explosion radius is relatively large, and after the explosion, basically everything gets on fire, including the buildings. So there is a good chance that if you don't know where your squad mate or the POW is, that you're going to kill them either with the blast from the bomb or from the fire afterwards. So if you're trying to rescue all the POWs and you're trying to rescue all your squad mates, this is very, very problematic using airstrikes. So airstrikes are a nice thing, but they can be a big problem as well. So once you have the camps, and then there's lighters and there's other things that you can pick up, commanders to take out, and there's really not any kind of score when you extract. The only thing that all these optional type things that you're doing, it adds to this photograph at the end. So it's not a huge incentive to do all the optional things. At some point you may want to do all the optional things. In the game there are some kind of unusual things in story that comes about with the notes. So if you go around, look at the notes, and you can kind of see some of the things that are kind of going on. Some of them are pretty straightforward. You know, they're like, oh, I don't have the strength to go on, blah, blah, blah. But then there's other ones that are a little bit more interesting. So read through the notes. I'm not going to spoil that for you. Find out for yourself. But this is kind of one of the more unusual areas. It's filled with some sort of gas, and you'll come across another area that has a whole bunch of gas as well. Now, if you try to go through Hours of Darkness all in one sitting, because you can save it and come back, at some point you're going to say, okay, I'm done. And this is the point that I was done. I got to the truck and I just said, I'm just going to go straight to the extraction from here, which is actually not that far. It was about 1,500 meters. I said, all right, even if I have to snake around, I'm just going to drive the truck as far as I can, get as close to the extraction, and get out. I'm done looking for lighters and commanders and POWs. I don't want to do it anymore. And if you try to do it all in one sitting, I'm fairly certain that you're going to come to this point at some point. Because this entire mission is going to take you at least 1 hour if you don't do anything. If you just go straight to the extraction. If you try to get some or all of the optional objectives, then it will take you a lot longer. It might take you 4 hours to get through everything. So if you're trying to complete all the optional objectives, I recommend saving it and then picking up later on, and then you can just go at your own pace and not kind of feel like you're getting rushed towards the end. Otherwise, if you play co-op, you can play with one other person, and I think it will be a lot better because you can communicate with the other person and you can talk it out and kind of get to an approach. You can approach a camp from different directions, and you can take guys out and kind of make it a competition to see who takes out the most guys or whatever. Make it more interesting. I think the co-op will make it more interesting. I think playing solo is fine and it's great, but playing co-op will add another layer to it. Now, additionally, you can share ammo with your friend if they're getting low. You're like, hey, do you have any rockets? I'm all out. And you can kind of specialize your guns. So one person can have, say, a shotgun and a submachine gun. The other person can have an assault rifle and a sniper rifle. Or someone can have a assault rifle and a rocket launcher. I mean, you get the picture. You can kind of have a variety of weapons. You can pick up ammo, and then when one person runs out of ammo, the other person can share their ammo. So I would recommend doing this first by yourself. Once you're able to get out, then you can go ahead and play co-op. You can play co-op right off the bat if you want to, obviously. But only the host will be able to get the trophies that go along with Hours of Darkness. So it's best to at least play a session where you can get those trophies, and they're not that difficult to get. You can look through it yourself. Now, once you get to the area, there are a couple of things that you need to do before you can get out. So this is kind of like the ending, the end boss, the culmination of everything. So you'll have to go in, you'll have to take out anti-aircraft guns before the helicopters can come in. And if you have a rocket launcher, that will make it a little bit easier. That way you don't have to make your way over to the anti-aircraft gun and then chuck a grenade or dynamite or explosive on it and then go to the other one. So it will save you a little bit of time if you're able to have a rocket launcher. Now that does take up one of 2 slots. So if you're not playing co-op, it does limit what you can have in that other slot.
Thanks, man. Now we need to clear the LZ for the dust-off bird.
Now, once you do that, you have to secure the area. There's a few rounds of guys that come at you. And once you secure the area, then it says, oh, by the way, take this document. Once you take the document, that will trigger the end. So once you're ready to go, you take that document and then you can go. If you decide that you're not ready to go, don't take the document. Go finish what you want to do. If there's other optional objectives that you want to do, go ahead and take care of those. So that's it. If you want to watch the ending, the rest of the of this mission, what else comes, so you can kind of be prepared for what's going to happen, go ahead and keep watching, and you can see the ending and everything that goes with it. If not, you can stop right here and be surprised at the end. But anyway, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
Some documents up at the top of the base might have some intelligence value. Can you grab them on your way out?
Shit, that was close. Hey there, I grabbed everything I could. Looks like we got more company, though. Helicopters!